Assalamualaikum and hi, I greet to all my friends and audience. This time around, we will discuss the topic of Malaysian foreign policy towards South China Sea, focusing on Natuna Island. There are two main agendas for today. The first is a brief presentation on the issue on whether Natuna Island is in the circle or is included in the Chinese tradition called 9-9. And a continuation of that issue will be held a debate session on how Nusantara framework or concept can be implemented in Natuna Island. A brief presentation on whether Natuna Island is included in the 9-9 applied by China will be presented by me, Alia, and then we will go to a debate that will involve two parties, which are the government party, who will be represented by the Brother Aiman, and the opposition party, which will be represented by Brother Adam. And so I am here to start the event with a presentation session on the issue of whether Natuna Island is included in the 9-9 applied by China. First of all, as we all know that the conflict in South China Sea area was still ongoing until today, and focusing on Natuna Island, this conflict between Indonesia and China, whereby China made a unilateral claim, which called 9-9s, and Indonesia, in this case, took a neutral stance on it, but Indonesia does not accept that the historical claim by China, as they said that this claim was a baseless claim, and this claim also violate the international law of the sea. And toward the discussion, we have made the answer is yes, the Natuna Island is included in the 9-9, because according to the next slide, please. Because according to the UNCLOS, one maritime border can be up to 200 nautical miles from the from the shore. Sorry, as the exclusive economic zone (EEZ) from Natuna overlap with the 9-9 claimed by China. This is why there have been cases where fishermen from Natuna been evacuated by Chinese Coast Guard from their own territory. However, although the island of the Natuna itself is outside of the 9-9s, the overlap between Natuna's EEZ and 9-9's line still causing conflict between states actors involved. Thus, Natuna Island is overlapping the 9-9 of China, and this raises common awareness that we, as the Nusantara people, to have the implementation or policy with the concept of the Nusantara, and in order to further in order to strengthen the rights to the island. Therefore, we will hold a debate session to get ideas for the implementation. That's all from me regarding the presentation. And we go to the debate session. And it should be noted that the debate session in this time has 4 rounds, where all rounds will be used the same question, but then it have different subtopics in each round. And the topic that will be discussed is how Nusantara concept or archipelago concept can be used on Natuna Island, which is located in the South China Sea. Therefore, in the first round is the implementation of Nusantara concept that can be done from a security point of view. The second from a political point of view, and the third one is economic, and the last one is from a socio-cultural aspect. Participants are given 3 to 5 minutes to discuss about the given topic. And without wasting our time, we will start with the first round. And this round, the title debate The title of the debate is how Nusantara concept can be implemented in Natuna Island from a security point of view. This debate session begin with the Brother Aiman. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, everyone can see the slide, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity given. Before I start delivering my first point regarding how we can implement Nusantara values on this aspect of security for Natuna Island, I will explain that all my points in this session were based on this Nusantara maritime paradigm, where uh, I I agree lah. I very agree and accept that Nusantara is our home, our tanah air. We, the people of Nusantara, are bangsa bahari, which were once seafarers who roams and guard the waters of Nusantara, which also includes the the South China Sea. So we also have been here for a very long time. However, we respect giants out there, which indicates to the any other nation, any other countries out there that would also roams the same waters, which is the South China Sea. We kindly accept any foreign countries, and we welcome them as we are willing to share our prosperity and hospitality. However, we we firmly stand that we just want to be independent and does not want to be colonized. Okay, this is basically the base of my answers lah. Okay, now we move to the security point. So my first proposal is that we in the South China Sea. I'm sorry for the typing in Malay for the title. For the North China Sea, I would like to propose that we, as Nusantara, comprising Malaysia, Indonesia, Brunei, Singapore, Philippines, which were involved closely to the South China Sea to form an alliance, security alliance, a pact between Malay archipelago states. So the purpose of this alliance is to defend the waters from invading foreign forces. However, although the purpose is to defend, but we were still incorporating the Nusantara maritime paradigm, as we respect any peaceful approach, and we also welcome any other nation that wants the willing to share the resource with us. However, it is a compulsory for them to actually acknowledge Nusantara history, our long history regarding the South China Sea, as we Nusantara people have also been there a long time. As we can look in China, where they claim that the South China Sea is their historical sea. The same thing also applies to us, as we Nusantara people also have our history with South China Sea. So for the Nusantara Security Council, I think if we were to really implement it, the base of operation, the headquarters can be established on the very Natuna Island or any other closest nation to the disputed areas, whereby Brunei or Sabah or Sarawak lah, for the base of operation. I think that is all for my proposal for security in Natuna Island. As that is all. Thank you.
And now we welcome. Okay, now we welcome Brother Adam to reply that suggestion or implementation, and your time starts now.
All right. All right. I have a big problem towards your proposition, whereby you mentioned about the Nusantara maritime paradigm, right? You mentioned about you want to be independent and do not want to be colonized again, right? But you are saying, or you are using the notion of Nusantara. Basically, it is a new kind of I assume a new kind of colonization, a version, a local version of of that particular colonized intervention or entity in the South China Sea. Now, in the security context, I would say your proposition on how the needs to have a military base or the military establishment, I think theoretically it is possible, but consequences would be bad. Why? Because we're talking about security alliance. We're talking about the nation of Malay Archipelago are going towards the foreign power. We're talking about US. We're talking about China, and I do think that South China Sea is a hotspot, is a geopolitical contestation. Rather than having an alliances, I would say, sending diplomats, ambassador would be more preferable, because diplomatic voice would be the mechanism to showcase your soft power rather than hard power. Now, when we're talking about military pact, there would be use of military arsenal. Military arsenal are going to produce a term called security dilemma, wherein we're talking about the development of military arsenal over there, or even the usage of military arsenal, such as ship warfare and whatnot, right? I think it is more disruptive. It will not benefit the region. It will be a long-lasting, I would say, because we're talking about security, talking about how the nation are being insecure towards each other, and then I do not think a problem would be solved in a manner of insecurity. Now, you mentioned about history. History is intertwined. You mentioned about China claiming their rights based on their historical evidence, and you yourself are basically proposing to have this South China Sea as a part, to have this China Sea as an argument that you use, that the South China Sea belong to you. So it is a historical evidence as well. Then we need to remember that history is intertwined. You cannot mention, you cannot champion only your history and then forget your counterpart history. So I would say again, diplomatic voice is far more preferable, because you would see, or you would interlink whether the history is truth or myth. Now, I rest my case over here. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, next, please welcome if there is a response from the government party.
I do agree with the point that the history are intertwined. However, the difference between China claims of 9-dash line and we Nusantara claim over the South China Sea is basically we are willing to share, we are willing to cooperate with any other foreign nation. However, if we look at China action, where they chase out the Indonesian fishermen, basically this shows that they are not willing to share the resource, the space, the ocean, the sea. That's the difference between our claims as Nusantara over our historical sea and their claims over their historical sea. So another thing that I would like to add is that when you say that Nusantara is some kind of a new colonization, it's really different, as Nusantara is not a colony, but we are an alliance. We are not trying to take advantage over the sea. We just want to use it together. as what we can say more like friends or different country cooperating for one resource. So when you say the the military would the military pact or alliance would create uneasiness in the Chinese, but we must also remember that security is not only for military and war, but it is also for peace. And for example, it is a need to have a security council to avoid any kind of activities that threatens the seafarers from Nusantara. For example, like the Indonesian fishermen. But if there is any threats coming from any Nusantara countries to the Chinese fishermen, for example, similar consequences will be provided, as the Security Council is there to maintain peace, not to chase out any foreign elements. As for the diplomats issue, it is better for Nusantara to have one diplomat that represent the voice of Nusantara compared to different people, different diplomats coming from different countries, bringing their own national interests. I think it is better to have one voice of Nusantara so that we